All right, let's talk about a tool in the web development world that gets a ton of love for being both super powerful and surprisingly easy to get into, Vue.js. Today, we're going to break down what makes this JavaScript framework such a favorite for everyone from total beginners to developers at massive companies. Let's get right into it.
So Vue's official tagline is the progressive JavaScript framework. Now, that's not just some marketing slogan, it literally tells you everything you need to know about its philosophy. Progressive means it's incredibly adaptable. You can sprinkle it into a project to handle one small thing, or you can build a gigantic, complex web application from the ground up. It's a framework that grows with you.
And that really leads us to the core question that Vue's creator was trying to answer. What if building for the web didn't have to be so complicated? What if you could have something that was simple to learn, but also incredibly powerful? In a landscape full of complex tools, Vue was born to be that refreshing alternative.
So what is Vue.js, really? Well, to understand it, you kind of have to understand its story. Let's take a look at how one developer's side project completely blew up and became a global powerhouse.
Okay, so check this out. The origin story is pretty awesome. It all starts with the developer at Google, Evan You. He was working with this framework called AngularJS. Super powerful, but also notoriously complex. And he just thought, man, there has to be a better way. So in 2014, he decided to build his own thing. He took the parts he loved, threw out the parts he didn't, and created a new, lightweight alternative. And today, that little side project is being used by massive companies like GitLab, Adobe, and Alibaba. It's a classic story of a developer just trying to solve their own problem and ending up creating something that helps millions.
These core ideas are really why Vue hits that perfect sweet spot. Progressive means you can adopt it piece by piece. Reactive is the magic sauce. It means your data and your user interface are always automatically in sync. It's simple, it's fast, and it's designed from the ground up to be maintainable by letting you build with reusable blocks of code. This is exactly why beginners find it so welcoming and pros trust it for their biggest projects.
All right, let's get into the two concepts that are the absolute heart and soul of Vue: reactivity and components. I'm serious, if you get these two things, you basically get Vue.
First up, reactivity. The best way to think of this is like an automatic heartbeat for your app. You have some data, say a user's name, you tell Vue to display that name on the screen. From then on, anytime that name changes in your data, the screen updates instantly to match it. You don't have to write any extra code to make it happen, it just works. It's incredible.
And then we have components. Think of these as reusable, self-contained building blocks. It's almost like you get to invent your own custom HTML tags. Imagine creating a user profile card tag or a product listing tag that has all its own logic and styling baked right in. Then you can just drop that component anywhere you need it over and over again. It's the key to keeping your code organized and easy to manage.
And this slide right here, this explains everything. The old way of doing things was a pain. You'd have to write code to manually find an element on the page, and then write more code to update it every single time your data changed. It was messy and a total magnet for bugs. Now look at the Vue way. You just link your data to your HTML template one time. That's it. Vue's reactivity system takes over and handles all the updates for you automatically. The bottom line, you write way less code, which means you can focus on what actually matters, building cool stuff.
Okay, enough theory. Let's see what this actually looks like when you're coding. We're going to look at two key things: directives and APIs.
So directives are kind of like magic attributes you can add to your HTML to give them superpowers. For instance, v-if can make something appear or disappear based on a condition. v-for can take a list of data and create an HTML element for every single item. But honestly, the real star of the show is v-model. This little guy creates what's called two-way data binding, and it makes working with forms an absolute dream. It just connects your form input directly to your data, back and forth, automatically.
Now, as Vue has grown, so have the ways you can organize your code. In the beginning, there was the Options API. It's super clear and great for beginners. All your data goes in one spot, all your methods in another. But as apps got bigger and more complex, Vue 3 introduced the Composition API. This is a game changer. Instead of organizing code by its type, you organize it by feature. So all the code related to, say, user authentication can live together in one clean block. It makes huge applications so much easier to manage and reuse bits of logic.
But here's the thing you have to understand. Vue isn't just one library. It's a whole world of tools designed to work together perfectly. So let's look beyond the basics and check out the Vue ecosystem.
And this is where Vue really pulls ahead. It's a full-on ecosystem.
Need to add different pages and navigation to your site? There's Vue Router for that. Need to manage data that's shared across your entire app? Pinea's got your back. Want to make your app faster and more search engine friendly? Nuxt.js is the answer. And the development tool Vite? It is ridiculously blazing fast. You get a whole official suite of tools that just work together seamlessly.
And just to show you how refreshingly simple this ecosystem is, look at this. This is how you add page navigation with Vue Router. It's literally 3 steps. You install it, you list out your pages, like your home page, about page, etc., and then you tell your main Vue app to use it. Done. It makes something that can be really complex in other frameworks feel incredibly straightforward.
So, after all that, we land on the big question. With all the options out there, why should you actually choose Vue? Let's get to the final verdict.
You know, this comparison table really tells the story. When you stack Vue up against the other 2 giants, React and Angular, you immediately see its unique place. The learning curve is way easier than both. It's much more lightweight than a beast like Angular. And while React is also super fast and powerful, a lot of developers find Vue's approach to things like data binding just feels more natural. It consistently hits that perfect sweet spot between simplicity and power.
And really, that's what it all boils down to. Vue.js somehow manages to find the perfect balance. It's simple enough that a total beginner can pick it up and build something cool in an afternoon. But it's also powerful and robust enough to run massive, mission-critical applications for companies all around the globe.
So I'll just leave you with this final question to think about. With its incredible balance of an easy-to-learn syntax, truly powerful features, and top-tier performance, is Vue the right choice for your next project? After everything we've seen today, there's a really good chance the answer is yes.